This is to show the basics of the commercial Equinox interface, resulting strictly from creating within Infusion Design Center the project room structure and lighting loads within those rooms. I have the beginning of a project area build out. I've changed the name of the project to represent the specific project. I've added 2 floors, and I've begun with the first room with its lighting loads. Now I'm going to add an Equinox, commercial Equinox 73 object. I'm going to give it a serial number, and then I'm going to connect to the controller, and I'm going to program. Once that's complete, I can use the emulator to represent what you'll see in the physical Equinox touchscreen. What we have here is the control of a currently selected room. Because we've placed the EQ73 in this room, the executive boardroom, that's the room that it will default to. At the top left of the page, there's a right angle bracket followed by the name of the room. Note, anywhere you see a right angle bracket or a left angle bracket within the Equinox interface, that's a navigational hint. Touching it brings up some options, so we could see we could navigate to a different room. With the desired room selected, you'll see there's a bar at the top with icons from which we can choose different views. Well, in this simple initial condition, we only have 2 icons. They are a home and a light bulb. These represent the available views, and the selected view is always going to be centered on the page, highlighted, and underlined in blue. This home icon is our default and is nothing more than a simple toggle control affecting all the lights in the room. Turn them all on, turn them all off. If we were to select the light bulb, we change now to what I call the lighting view, where we have direct control of all the lighting zones in the room. There are 2 major divisions in the initial presentation of the view. To the left is a control device for all the lights in the room. You'll see there's a quick on and off, similar to what we could do with the toggle. But in addition to that, we also have a slider, so we can modify the dim level from 0 to 100 for all the lights in the room. I can just touch it anywhere, or I can drag it, and they will all follow live. You'll notice that while we are modifying it, it will actually display the value. That'll stay for a few seconds and time out once we release. Now, the second major division of the lighting view to the right is the list of lighting zones within the room. To the right of each, there are 2 control points, simple off and on for the individual zones. And to the right of that is a right angle bracket. Remember, this suggests a navigation point. So if we tap it, then it brings us to where we have a control device mimicking the one for all the lights in the room, but this one operates this zone independently. Now, while we're in this modified presentation, we can select any lighting zone, and you can touch the name or you can touch the right angle bracket. And the same is true from back where we just were. But if we want to return now to the all control, the initial view, then we do the left arrow, the left angle bracket, and that brings us to this point where we were initially. And as I demonstrate, any one of those, whether we hit the right angle bracket or the name, it will take us back to the individual zone. Now, I do want to point out just real quickly that as we make modifications to the individual zones, notice right now it's representing that everything's on at 100%. As I start turning things off, well, now it's at 75, it's at 50, 25, and 0. The slider is representing the average level. But once we start using that, so say I were to turn half of it on and represent that, as soon as I start using this, this actually will modify it so that they're all following and they're all synchronized.